right, the Pitura Pit Stop here at Ag Days. Hot topic. This hot topic is about straight cut canola and pod shatter ratings. There's a lot of noise in the marketplace and we want to digest some of that. So joining me, I have Nicolea Dow here with a director from the Manitoba Canola Council.
That's Manitoba Canola Growers.
Manitoba Canola Growers.
We get mixed up all the time.
Yes, okay. And why I brought Nicolea here is she was a part of developing the standardized rating of straight cut canola pod shatter.
The rating system, yeah.
Or rating system.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into that a little bit. So first, can you tell me about it? Why was there a need and how did it come to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Canola Shatter rating, it was developed about 2 years ago. And really it came out of a need that farmers had to, have some universal way of knowing what they were getting. Because, Invigor Pod Shatter, I actually worked for Invigor back when that came out, so that was kind of fun and exciting, but that came out, farmers got used to that, and then everyone else joined the party, and producers started trying different varieties out and having mixed experiences. And so we wanted a way to kind of cut through the marketing and really get to what producers needed to know and have something that would fit across the board. So so that's kind of how it came to be, or the need for it, I would say.
So the scale. Talk about the scale and where varieties that are in the marketplace stack up.
You bet. So it's a 1 to 9 rating scale, and it's a relative scale. So it's not like...
So you can never have 10, that's what I'm hearing.
No, because the scale doesn't have 10.
Oh, okay,
so to start off, it's a relative scale. So it's not saying, I have a 5, that means, this number. It's a relative performance scale. And then we've got 2 checks that are kind of anchor points. Okay. So 45H33, which is, is a little older, but I think a lot of people, farmers, agronomists have some familiarity. So that kind of anchors the swath varieties. So that's rated a 4. So anything from 1 to 4, we would say on the scale, you do not want to attempt to straight cut this. These are swath only varieties. And then the other anchor point is number 8, which is L255 PC. So again, another variety that I think most folks would be familiar with. And that kind of anchors that gold standard for the true pod shatter trait that originally was out.
Yeah.
And then things can be anywhere in between. So, like I said, it's a relative scale, but it helps you understand maybe the risk bundle that you're getting and how you might, be looking to manage that come harvest time, or, even purchasing seed if you want to look at maturity and then shatter risk and how that might fit on your farm.
So as growers are making decisions and as new varieties are coming out to the marketplace, and we've seen a lot of them, whether it's from Brett Young and Cantera coming out, they all have straight cut varieties, and we all know that they perform differently in different conditions, but there obviously is a standard. Where can growers find that standard rating that has been independently done?
Yeah, so I guess to clarify a few things. So the rating scale itself is like a universal optional label. How that number is derived is, so companies are doing their own testing and then they're anchoring their results on the scale. Okay. So at this point in time, there's no farmer-funded third-party thing that can test that.
I saw a smile, which tells me that there might be a need or a want for it in the future.
You know what? There's a lot of things that would be nice for farmers to test ourselves. I mean, I sit on a board representing farmers, and it would be awesome to be able to just go and test whatever we want. But, there are some legalities in place that, you can't just do everything you want with patented seed. But a good starting point is having a universal label that we're at least all speaking the same language and there's maybe a little more honesty in it.
Yeah.
As far as where a person can find those ratings, so you can get info about the ratings in general. Canola Growers, or Canola Council of Canada, in their Canola Canola Encyclopedia. Wow, doing a great job today. They've got some great videos, charts, all that you can check out. As far as getting the ratings for a specific variety, that's something that you'll get from a seed company. And then the other thing to note is these are optional ratings. We can't force anyone to use them. They're we have a committee, we got together, we created it, and it's kind of out there, and we really want people to adopt it, but it's up to the seed company to do it.
Sure. But the important thing to add to that is there are seed companies adopting it. There are seed companies using it, following the protocol of that rating, and bringing it out to allow the producers and customers to make educated decisions.
For sure, there are.
So that's the exciting thing.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Anything else that you'd want to share that you think is relevant?
I would say the one other thing to make sure that everyone knows if they're using the rating is to make sure you know what it's actually measuring or what it's showing. So harvest loss or in canola is going to come down to 3 factors, right? You've got your environment you're in, that's going to have a big influence. Your genetics, which is kind of the piece we're talking about, and then your management decisions. Now, something like the pod shatter trait is primarily driven by genetics. Obviously, there's an influence on environment, like there is anything in farming, but that trait, and as far as what the rating scale is depicting, is genetics. Now, the other part of seed loss is also pod drop. So it's important to distinguish that they're different things that are going on, and pod drop is primarily influenced by the environment, less so by the genetics. So it's also to make sure farmers know what they're getting and the expectations kind of set properly.
Sure. No, that's a great point. Because unfortunately, we can lose canola many different ways. So
we can lose canola many, many ways.
So the other way to look at it is we can manage losses many, many different ways. So,
sure.
So thank you for your time and your insight. As the second part of the Pitura Seed Pit Stop, we want to highlight some key characteristics and or your takeaways in 1 or 2 answers on 3 standard questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What are you most excited for about the future in the ag industry? 1 or 2 words.
Maximizing use of grain.
Maximize. Okay. Number 2, what color of machinery has piqued your interest at Ag Days?
2 words. Well, I was just by the Bourgault booth on my way here, which they've got one rig that's black and yellow and one that's like the traditional silver and red.
So a variety has piqued your interest. And in your position, what is the top skill that makes you successful at your job?
Being analytical.
Being analytical. There you have it. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you found this valuable in terms of understanding what variety is going to be best for you in your canola field.